All messages are visible. That's what we want. Right, good morning everybody. How are we doing out there on this glorious sunny day? So, got a 30-degree north here behind me. Took it out last weekend. Went up to Wells and Tour RC Club where we got a new track coming in, and was doing quite a few good laps. And then all of a sudden, first off, the clutch pinion, the bolt that goes through the pinion into the clutch bell snapped. Luckily, the pinion stayed in the car, so we found it and managed to wind the bolt through the clutch bell and put a slightly shorter bolt back in and get the pinion on. While I was doing that, I noticed the clutch shoes almost down to bare metal. A few more laps later, the inevitable happened. Wing, wing, wing. Just slipping, clutch is gone. So I've ordered a nice new 8,000 RPM clutch. Also ordered from RC Models a new bit of silicone for the exhaust because that keeps popping off. And one other little thing I got to do on this today, the kill switch stopped working on me, and I was a bit confused by that. Got it back to the pit area, pressed the button on the engine kill button on the engine, and it still didn't cut out. And I was like, you git. So I pulled the spark plug off, the HT lead off the plug. Obviously that killed the engine. Then when I pulled the start-stop switch out of the fan case cover, the spade connectors were on the back of the switch, but they'd come off the back of the coil. So obviously it wasn't grounding the coil out. So I need to solder those onto the coil so that they don't come off again. Last thing I want is the potential to have a runaway and a vehicle that is out of control. So I'm going to deal with that as well. Whilst we've got the engine out, it's a lot easier. Got to take the engine out to do the clutch on this. So yeah, sit back, relax, grab yourselves a cup of coffee. I'm going to switch the engine off in a minute. So hopefully it's not annoying you in the background running away there. Got an inverter and a power supply in the back of the van, just giving the batteries a little bit of a top up, just so I can use the soldering iron in a little while. So yeah, we'll get into this, get the engine out, get the clutch in, and maybe give it a little rip just to make sure everything's all right. So relax, sit back, grab yourselves a drink and enjoy. I'll tell you what, we will kill the engine. That's better, isn't it? Right then. So I hope everyone out there is doing well. I'm sure probably a lot of you are actually out bashing this weekend. I know there's quite a few good events going on. We've got a little meet in Bristol tomorrow. See there where I pulled the HT lead off the plug. Look. Right, so first thing we're going to do is just take this little cover off here. Quite a busy morning on the roads out there this morning. But yeah, like I was saying, I know there's a couple of guys up in Wales at the minor circuit this weekend having a full weekend camping bash. In 2 weeks' time, nevertheless, I will be at Bash Fest. So bring that on, people. Got to make sure this is up and running, good and ready to go. We got the police Range Rover body to put on this with Miss Piggy driving it as well, you see. So it's got to be done, isn't it, really? So we'll take that cover off there. We're going to take the pipes off the carburettor. My petrol tank's already empty, so I haven't got to worry about any fuel spilling out. We're going to disconnect the throttle linkage. I'll find the right screwdriver. Is that one? Yep. Disconnect the throttle linkage of the carb. Drop in the screw. As you do, there we go. Should have got my little magnetic tray out really. And the other thing I'm going to do is separate the exhaust here. There we go, that was easy because the silicon's already gone on it, you see. So that'd split up. Which is why we've got to replace. Sorry about the wind, it's something picked up. Hopefully it's not too loud, it's not, you can hear me. Yeah, I had the wrong type of silicon on there really, and it obviously got hot, melted, and it's no good. So that's all out the way. I'm going to need to take that clamp off there as well. So there we go, look. That was the wrong kind of silicon really. I don't think it was high temperature. It absolutely annihilated itself. And why did you say that? It looks almost identical to what we're replacing it with. But I mean, that's what 30D, you know, that's what RC Models sent me. So we'll have to see. I've got a couple of them just in case it splits on me over the weekend at Bash Fest, and then I could still use it. Right, so that is pretty much the engine disconnected. Now all we've got to do is undo it from underneath. And I've lost an engine mount. That's an absolute pig. What's happened there? That's really annoyed me. That's actually really annoyed me, that has, losing that. That's fucking well moved. What's going on there then? Goodness me. What an absolute palaver. That's not good at all. That hasn't impressed me one little bit. That'll be up at Greenall, that will, somewhere around the field. Mind you, that's what happens when you take stuff out, innit? Take it out in the field, it's going to have problems. I actually undid this whilst I was out in the field, and well, my own fault really, innit? Alright, so that's that one, and one more. I think I could do with some new heads and then screws as well. So that's the engine out. I can't take it out fully because we've got my kill switch wire in there. But the area we're looking at today is the clutch and clutch bell here. Right, we need to take the spark plug out. Let's have a little look at the plug to see how she's been running, eh? Oh, that's a nice tune. Look at that, people. So there we go, look. Get that to focus. That's a very nice looking plug there, to be fair. Got a good tune going on that one. So I'm definitely going to need to get on the RC models. We've got somebody joined us. Good afternoon. Good morning still, actually. How are we doing? I'm not sure if the comments are coming up on the screen or not, so I don't know if you said anything, but hello. We're just changing the clutch on the 30° north today. And we're also going to investigate the kill switch problem on it. Well, I say investigate. I know what the problem with the kill switch is. It's come off the back of the coil. But whilst the engine's out, it's a lot easier to take the fan case off and solder it onto the coil rather than using those silly little spade connectors that have fallen off the damn thing, which is why it wouldn't work. That's also why the engine stop button wouldn't even work, because it's not shorting out the coil. So happy days. It's all part of the hobby, isn't it? It's all part of the hobby. It's an absolutely glorious day today. What a fantastic weekend. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Oh, there's a little bit tight. I don't know why he's not wanting to come out so smoothly. Must have a bit of dirt in the threads or something. Very, very tight. There we go. Slight burr on the thread there. Let's have a look here. Have we got any comments coming up? Let's have a butch. Let's have a butch. Live all chat. No, nothing coming up. Well, good morning to you. You don't have to comment. I don't mind. All right, so there's the clutch bell. Bearings in that could do with a little bit of lubrication. And yeah, just as I thought, that clutch is done for. I would bring you in a little bit closer, but my camera mount's very temperamental at the moment. But I will get this clutch out and I'll show you guys on the camera. Right, so we're going to need a piston stopper. Now, there are other methods if you haven't got one of these. Now, all this is basically, look, it's just a threaded stopper. So that goes down into your spark plug. It's obviously longer than the spark plug and stops your piston coming up and stops the engine turning over. You can lower a bit of rope or a bit of nylon string cord or something down into the top there. That's another way to stop the piston going up and down. But we're going to need to stop the engine turning over so that we can take these off. Now, let's have a butch. So as you can see there, so now the engine won't turn. Crack that off. Always important to make sure your Allen keys are well seated before you try and turn a tight one, otherwise you'll end up stripping them out. It is also important to note there are shims on these clutches. You've got a little spring washer and you've also got a standard washer. Take note of where they are when you take the clutches out, because you'll need to put them back in the same way. Also, take note of which way the clutch is facing and which way it opens. Now, some people, back in the day, people used to put clutches in backwards because they said it bit harder. So it doesn't technically matter. Right, so there we go. This is what I was saying. So on the bolt here, we've got one little curvy out shape washer. That's pretty much how they come in the pack, to be fair. They don't come flat. And that stays that side of your bolt. It's a shim to allow the clutch to spin and move and open, obviously, without grabbing onto the bolt and holding it tight. You will get new ones in the pack when you order your clutch, usually. We'll pop those down now. And we'll lift our clutch out now. There we go, people. How we go? Right, Joyce, hello. Right, I didn't see your comment there. I disappeared. Let's have a look. Sweet. The almost indestructible body shell. Yeah, that's it. The old 30° North, mate. So there's the clutch. As you can see, she was down to metal. There is no lining left on that clutch whatsoever. There's a tiny bit there. Metal, and a tiny bit there. So that was definitely slipping. And that was definitely my cause for lack of power. Be interested to see actually what spring this was. It is silver. It doesn't look like it's got any colour to it. And normally, I think there's 6K springs as stock, but I'm not too sure what the 30° North ones are. I know the Baja, I always run an 8K spring, and that's what I bought to replace it with. So one knacker clutch. Now, basically very simple. It's got a spring in the middle here. You can get different spring rates. You get 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000. Obviously, these engines rev up into the 20s and higher. And all that does is that spring is set to how many thousand RPM this is turning before it allows those shoes to open out. Okay, and as they open out, they obviously engage. So if you've got a really low numbered spring, like a 5 or a 6, it's going to engage really early and bog your engine down. If you've got a 10 or a 12, you're going to lose a lot of the bottom end and you're going to be up in the torque all the time. So anyway, enough waffle. I know it's called wrenching and waffling, but let's do some wrenching instead of waffling. One dead clutch. Let's put a new one in. Courtesy of eBay. Grand price of £12. We've got a nice new clutch. Look at that lining. Plenty of thickness on that one. Look at that. Big difference. And then we got the 8K red spring in there. So the other two washers are still here on your clutch holder. Make sure you take them out, don't lose them. And like I said, your packet will normally come with new bolts and washers. Always a good idea to use them if you've got them. Right, so your two thicker washers go on first, or on the back of the clutch rather. And then you shim that little wavy shim. Remember I was saying to you they're wavy before you start. That's a brand new one. Look at the waviness of it. Oh, that's how they are. So that's going to go onto your bolt. And then your bolt with your shim goes through your clutch to the washer on the back, like so. So shim onto your bolt, through your clutch, washer on the back. And then we just put the bolts back in on the clutch. I must admit, the 30° North is so much easier and quicker to work on than the Baja. Doing this on the Baja, I wouldn't have even got the engine out yet. There's so much to take off. That's one of the things I love about these trucks. So, just to be awkward, this one's got bolts on it rather than Allen keys. Now, because we've got the piston stopper in, and because we've just undone the engine, when we do it up now, it's going to spin a bit. There we go. So we're going to go for a whole revolution before it hits the piston stopper, and then we can start tightening down these clutch bolts. You don't want to do them too tight because your clutch won't open. Just want to give them a little nip. Just a little nip like that. That's all they need. Now, have I got any GT85 in here? No, right. Let me go and get a squirt of GT85 for the clutch bearings. 2 seconds, people. Right, sorry about that. There we go, a bit of GT85. Spinning much better now. Look at that. Let's see. That's what we want. Now, there's a little bit of a wobble on that, but then that's these teeth. They always have had a slight wobble with the 30° North stuff. I think it's only a 19 tooth pinion. Give it a bit more of a clean and a spray. Lovely jubbly. Right, who have we got locked on now? We've got another person joined us. Let's have a butch. Hello. Drop your comments and say good morning. just let that dry off for a minute. A little bit soaked, so I'm absolutely covered in stuff now. Should go and get me rags, really. I haven't thought this through. I've started my live stream and look at the state of this. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Right, that's better. Okay, so the other thing we've got to have a look at is that kill switch. So as I said to you, there we go. Right, so if we pop that out, you can see they're both connected here on the switch, but that one there has come off the back of the bloody coil. So I need to take the fan case off quickly. A lot easier to do whilst we've got the engine out. Two Phillips at the top here holds the plastic case over the top of the engine, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts around the fan case on the outside of the pull starter. That one was a little bit loose. And these have got little washers on them again as well, so make sure you don't lose them when you take them off. Chance to get some of the grass out of the full start. Not too bad, to be fair. Managed to keep a lot of it out. So yeah, there we go. You can't really see from there. Let's see if we can bring you in a bit closer. I don't know how well this is going to work because the camera mount's a bit temperamental. Let's bring you down and have a look. Right, that's a bit better. You can see what we're talking about now. Right, so there's your flywheel. Here's your coil, and just here on your coil there is a spade connector. And what's happened with my kill switch is this spade connector's come disconnected, so when you press the button it's not grounding out. Now fortunately the positive side's still on the back of the coil, so I haven't got to take the coil off to get to it. But one broken fin on the flywheel there. That is a very loose, very loose fitting plug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dollop of solder on that. I think. Let's see if we can clamp it on first. Pull that rubber boot back. Let's have a look here and see what's going on. Yeah, it's just a very loose fitting. So I am going to put some solder on that. Or am I? Or am I? Let's have a go here. Right, let's see. Let's give that a little squeeze. Is that a better grip? Oh, that's a lot better, actually. I don't even think we're going to need to solder it, having said that. Put a little boot on. Now, of course, knowing my luck, it'll go over a bump at Bash Fest, and I'm sure it'll come off again. Yeah, that's still a bit loose. Let's bring that down a bit. That down a bit. Put the boot back on and see if we can get away with it this way. I don't really want to have to go and piss about with a soldering iron. I don't have to. Oh, that's not coming off now. Right, that's well on there. Okay. Right, so that's kill switch sorted. So we can put the fan case back on. Like so. So yeah, I need to order an engine spacer mount at the bottom, or engine alignment spacer, because I've lost one. It's definitely around the field of Green Ore somewhere in Wales, but I don't really fancy going around with a metal detector trying to find it. Really not worth it, I don't think. We've got 3 people locked in now. Good morning, good afternoon. Well, we're still morning, it's still early. And then our 2 little Phillips back in the top there, which just holds the fan shroud casing over. Any comments? Any recent comments? Let's have a look here. What's going on? Live all chat. No, we've still just got Joyce there. Not sure who else is joining me, if anybody. Right, so that's all that. Clutch is done. Kill switch is done. Let's put our clutch housing back on with our belt. Lovely spinning free. It's quite a nice, simple, easy repair. This, to be fair, I do love the lossy platform or the 30° north. Oh, that wind's whipped up in it. Right, listen. I love the bar, but for ease of working. Wow, that wind is picking up. Ease of working. These are so simple. I'm going to show you how I line these up as well. Let's get a good opinion. I know you've got the spacers there, but just to get that perfect mesh, I always use a bit of paper. Should have cleaned that burr up on this one, but never mind. Would have made it a bit easier to go in. At least that ain't going to back out by itself. You'll notice I haven't used threadlock on anything. I'm not a big advocate for it, because I find if you do things up properly, not over tight, but not untight enough, if you know what I mean, they don't tend to come out. And if you check and service your stuff regularly, I just do stuff tight and then a little nip like that, and that's usually all I need. Okay, so last thing we've got to do then is put the gasket on that, put the engine back in, reconnect the throttle servo. I'm going to adjust the brakes actually, because they were a little bit, I found they were a bit weak when I was driving it the other day. So kill switch down, let's put our spark, actually no, let's just leave that in there for a minute. Said the diff's a bit weak, could do with some more fluids in there. Okay, so we've got our 3 engine bolts now because we've lost one, so those are the little spacers and engine mounts. But I'm going to put a piece of paper in there just to get that perfect mesh. So first thing we're going to do, just put these in loosely. I know I'm on the wrong side of the camera for you guys, you can't see. Hang on, there we go. Right, there we go. Looks like we've got these engine spacers here. I'm just putting them in loosely at the moment. Now I'm missing one of these, unfortunately, because I lost it last time I went out. So I need to order some new ones from RC Models. Now you'd think this would make it line up perfectly, but it doesn't. The mesh is still off slightly. So let's go and get that bit of paper and I'll show you what I do. You can hear that mesh, listen. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Sounds atrocious. Right. So what you want to do is get yourself a piece of Xerox, photocopy paper, office paper of a reasonable quality. And we're just going to roll that in to the teeth like that. And we're going to leave that set in there like that. Now, I'm going to tighten up the engine mounts from underneath. don't like that screw. It's not a very good head. Let's see. I might have another one of them. Let's go and have a look in the. Let's go and grab the old box of screws. Let's see if we can find a better head. I think we have already. Look at that. Yeah, perfect. So, oh, lovely. Look at that, magic. Tighten that one up nicely. And that one. Still sounds too tight to me. Not happy with that. A little bit peculiar, that is. Let's see if we can get it right, eh? It's not meshing very well. I don't know why. You know what, I remember doing something on this before, and that was putting a little shim in underneath that. Give me a second, guys. Now, I think this chassis might have a slight curve to it because the engine doesn't line up perfectly on this for some reason. That's much better. One little shit on there. all the difference. It's always important to check your mesh. Just don't rely on stuff, because you will find variations and differences. Now we've got a really nice sounding mesh. So we are just going to nip up those bolts. Beautiful. Excellent sounding mesh there now. Return pipe on the top, put the carb, and the feed pipe back on the bottom. Go. And then last but not least, well, not quite, we've got to reconnect up our throttle linkage. Got to line that up on the keyway. Just there. Come on, on you go. Why is it being so bloody awkward? This is the trouble when you've got big hands. doing the fiddly little bits like this, playing on the backside. Why is that not fitting onto the car? Ah, git. That must be on back to front, surely. Ah, there we go, right. Bloody fiddly stuff, isn't it? Nearly there. It's an RC car. Hello, Chris. How are you doing, my good man? Hope you double well. We've just changed the clutch on this. Look, there wasn't very much left of the. Did you get the bolt out? No, I've left the bolt in on the pinion, mate. Didn't bother changing it. Just took the casing off with the pinion still attached. But yeah, that's the old clutch. Look, down to bare metal. Well and truly knackered. So I've got new silicone for the exhaust. Which we're just going to put on now, and then I think that's everything done. So we've done the kill switch, sorted out that, sorted out the clutch. Let's get some Jubilee clips. going to be good to go for a little bash to Bristol tomorrow, I think. It's one last little run with the bash list. Excellent, look at that. Right, get that clamped up. Slightly less asbo now, Chris. I know you like the noise. All right, Jubilee clips at it. Should be enough though. Right, well, I think it's time to get a battery in it. Top her up with a bit of fuel. And make sure she starts. Oh, hang on, I've got the gear cover back on. Gear cover. Right, you horrible lot. 2 seconds, just go and get a battery, some fuel, and a controller. Okay, back again. Right, still got people watching. God, ain't you lot bored yet? I would have been. Keep disappearing on you. The old air filter cover back on. Now I've got a nice little flat top mount battery for this. just about fits in my radio box. A little bit of pre-mix here already. So we can check the kill switch now. Now we've got batteries, controllers, and everything alike. So we'll turn this on. That's fantastic. Switches blinking. Did the carb prime. There we go. Choke on. Choke off. Choke on. I can't do it on this stand. Let's take it off. Here we go. Oh, nearly sent you flying, guys. Check that out. Oh, that was lucky. What's going on here then? How bizarre. Why don't you want to start, you little bitch? Ooh. Well, she definitely sparked because I got zapped. Oh, she's wet. Good spark. on, girl. What's the matter with you? Oh, it's the beauty of a live stream, isn't it? Trying to plan. Why do you not want to run, you little bitch? Any questions, any comments? What we got here? Dodgy kill switch. No, kill switch is working. She's sparking. Oh, here she goes. She's gonna go. I thought she was gonna go. She's flooded. Right, kill switch. Yes, the kill switch is working. Right, well, thank you very much, everybody. That concludes it.